President Bola Tinubu is under intense scrutiny following his appointment of former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello to the All Progressives Congress APC National Reconciliation Committee. A move that comes while Bello is facing a staggering over 80 billion naira corruption probe by the EFCC. Critics say this appointment undermines Nigeria's anti-corruption efforts and sends a dangerous message about accountability in public office, and supporters argue that this is about party unity ahead of the 2027 elections. Joining us for this discussion is Executive Director, African Transparency Initiative, ATI, Comrade Taiwo Otitolaye. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, and hello, listeners and viewers.
Good to have you here.
Morning, Comrade.
Now, let's start with the obvious, Comrade.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Thank you very much for asking. We hope you're good too. And we want to hear your thoughts regarding Yahaya Bello. He's under investigation. His investigation process by the EFCC have been criticized by many as moving at snail pace. If someone who's in the spotlight, not for the best reasons, and still is being investigated, has now been appointed by the president, what does that say?
The President Bola Tinubu has demonstrated that integrity no longer matters and that he is free as the president to provide cover for a corrupt public officer. Yahaya Bello was in hiding like a fugitive for several months, avoiding arrest from Economic and Financial Crime Commission until he finally showed up. The people of Kogi are in abject poverty due to Yahaya Bello's misrule for 8 years. So the Economic and Financial Crime Commission are charging him for 19 counts of corruption, over 80 billion. And the president wakes up one morning and appoints him to a national reconciliation of the All Progressive Congress. It shows that he has thrown accountability to the wind and is also using his own hand to destroy the work of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Because if a president say, okay, somebody that is under trial by the AFCC is fit to be appointed into a reconciliation committee. What is such a person going to reconcile? Corruption? So you can see that it's shocking that the president can go down to this level.
Now, Comrade, if I may come in at this point, Comrade, some will argue that, it's internal APC matters and that what the EFCC is doing is basically investigation. And the Nigerian Constitution says you're innocent until proven otherwise, that people are just raising a lot of dust for nothing. What do you make of this line of argument? Are we making much out of nothing by raising these issues on this moral issues bordering on accountability?
There is a popular maxim, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Yahaya Bello's corruption is internationally known. You also could recollect his children, the school fee he paid in Abuja, running into several $1,000s from the Kogi State Commonwealth. The EFCC, why was he running away from the Economic and Financial Crime Commission? To give you the background, I am from Kogi State, Yagba Federal Constituency. So charity begins at home. So I'm not just raising dust. I know the pains of the people. Several workers, civil servants, we are receiving 15%, some 30%, some 45% of their salaries during Yahaya Bello's 8-year rule. These are corruptions. Nothing to show for the local government. So Yahaya Bello, we know it's from our siding, and the ATI, African Transparency Initiative, has done a thorough investigation. We have a case at the Economic and Financial Crime Commission against 5 local governments of Adavi, Basa, Dekina, Ida, and Yagba West. This local government, we are currently in the EFCC have adopted our petition. And what we found, the research we did on ground, shows it's pathetic, shows the level of poverty, the level of how revenue, statutory allocations were being diverted, even under the Yahaya Bello's government. So are you appointing such a person into a reconciliation? Is this good? Now, what is the president is saying? Economic and EFCC, stop the fraud. Also, will you, the EFCC now go to say, okay, Yahaya Bello, who has been appointed as into the reconciliation committee, when he's having a meeting with the president, can the EFCC go to arrest him there? It is a huge cover-up. And his dirty activities during his time as governor, he was sponsoring talks, attacks. So this, for those who are arguing that it's just an allegation, we all know, and the evidences are there to show.
Okay. Mr. Taiwo, we'll go on a quick break, but when we come back, I'd like you to also touch on what you think about the EFCC boss, Mr. Olukoyede, who had said he was going to resign if Mr. Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State, was not brought to book. And what does that do to the anti-graft agency as we speak now? But let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll touch on that. Welcome back. We're still talking on the recent appointment of a former Kogi State governor who is under the surveillance, or would say rather, under the eye of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Our guest is Executive Director, African Transparency Initiative, otherwise known as ATI, Comrade Taiwo Otitolaye. Right before the break, I'd asked a question. My question was bordering on the EFCC boss, who had said he was going to resign if the former Kogi State governor was not brought to book. And it seems like that resignation hasn't happened, and yet the Kogi State governor is thriving, especially with some of the things in which he's doing right now, like he's been appointed. And
he's also been receiving defectors to the APC.
Exactly. So what's your take on how this rubs off on the anti-graft agency EFCC?
This is a very good development. It also supports the position of African Transparency Initiative. The EFCC chairman is saying that he has honor and integrity. He cannot be sitting over an anti-graft agency. And Yahaya Bello is under trial, 19 count charges, after running away like a fugitive for several months before he finally appeared. And the President Bola Tinubu, now accusing. Well, you know the contents and what the background of the reconciliation committee should be. The person must have credibility. The person must have public, must appeal to the public in terms of being free from corruption. The person's attitude, Yahaya Bello paraded killer squads in Kogi. One of such examples that such squad carried out was the burning to death of a PDP women leader. They locked him in a house, they set the house ablaze, and he was burned to death. Can you now say such a person has credibility to function in a reconciliation committee? The All Progressive Party is telling us that, oh, it is just it is no different from the usual political party. When I was the General Secretary of the United Action for Democracy, we were warning the PDP then of politically motivated killing. I remember vividly that of Harry Hotspur in Rivers. Bola was also one of those things. Social William. We want them. Yet, Adwogbes came out to say the PDP will rule for 60 years. Today, you can see now the law of karma is coming back. So also the All Progressive Congress Party is taking the dangerous path. And you can see Yahaya Bello was hobnobbing with Sheikh Gumi in 2021. Sheikh Gumi came to Yagaland, where I hail from. I made a press statement then that the visit of Gumi was treading a dangerous path. 4 years later, you can see terrorism at its peak in Yagaland today. Kings were abducted, women were raped. So you can see that the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission is saying the right thing, because from our engagement with the EFCC of today, the EFCC is working because I have submitted 2 petitions. There was one other petitions. The executive secretary of that agency was invited, arrested. About 5 directors of that agency were arrested. The vendors of that agency were arrested. Now again, the Kogi 5 local governments, they have adopted our petition, and we are going to give them evidences, and they promise they will prosecute it. So I wholly support the resignation of the chairman of the EFCC. If Yahaya Bello is not removed and allow the due process of law to take its course.
So wait, what's the worst that will happen if Yahaya Bello is not removed? I do know that one thing we've seen with this current administration is that oftentimes when they take a step and there's public outcry and they see that people are not comfortable with that, they often listen and backtrack on that. But what if the presidency decides not to do anything and insists that Yahaya Bello will remain? After all, Section 36(5) of the Constitution provides that he's innocent until proven guilty, and this is an internal party affair.
Well, the All Progressive Congress is a part of the country. It's an organization that is a subset of the Nigerian state. And citizens who must present themselves either for governance or for national assignments should be citizens that have integrity. And our campaign has just started. We press home until the President Tinubu can see that, integrity matters. National reconciliation of the party, of the ruling party. What image is the president projecting to the international community? Is saying, oh, I have the power, I have the might, I can present any character in a committee. Yahaya Bello, who are those? Who will Yahaya Bello reconcile with such of his past record? So we will press further until the president sees reason. And I know there are other groups inside and outside Kogi that are also towing the same line that we are towing. So we will press further and we will now tell the whole world that the APC cannot say. That was how the PDP was saying is family matter. Family matter, family matter. You know where the country is being led to now. And you also know what we are going through. So if it is internal matter, it affects the integrity of Nigeria within the Committee of Nations. So we press on until Yahaya Bello is removed.
All right. As an indigene in Kogi, I don't know, we've been hearing rumors from the grapevine about the potential or the possibility of Yahaya Bello signaling interest to run for Kogi Central Senatorial District. Can you confirm if this is true? And if this is, what would you say his chances are?
Well, he hears from the Central Senatorial District of Kogi. Even under his 8-year rule, his people still suffered what other senatorial districts suffered. And you can see the huge support for Natasha. You can see Yahaya Bello as a sitting governor on the day of election. You see how he went with tractors and bulldozed the roads leading to Natasha's home. You can see the people still crossed that hurdle and voted immensely for Natasha. And you could see the election was rigged until the court brought Natasha back. So the people of Central Kogi district, senatorial district, know who they want to vote for. I cannot stop him or his party from presenting him, but we will continue to tell the whole world the character which Yahaya Bello is made of.
All right. I want to say thank you so much, Executive Director, African Transparency Initiative, Comrade Taiwo Otitolaye, who has spoken to us about the plans and the movement the African Transparency Initiative is putting forth to ensure that the former Kogi State Governor is brought to book. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.